Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a little chat about why bad reviews are good. Because I've been getting a lot of comments lately, actually, by people who somehow feel that they're like teaching me a lesson by saying one of two things. One is, if you hate it, I like it, which, I mean, if that's the way you want to run your life, what can I say? Be my guest. And the other is, well, I heard it and I thought it was fabulous. And again, that's lovely. But here's the point. And this is what we really, really always need to keep in mind about these things. And most of you know this, but I just think it's worth pointing out anyway for anybody who may be in doubt. First, the whole point of doing this is to create discussion about great pieces of music and recordings of those pieces of music, and to get people to listen and ultimately to love the classics. And if they achieve that by listening to the recordings I recommend, that's wonderful. If they achieve it by listening to the recordings I don't recommend, that's wonderful. My job, as a consumer advocate, as well as a critic, is to entertain, educate, and tell people how best to invest their money and spend their time. And those suggestions people can take or leave. But, I have to be comfortable with the fact that I have done at least that. Now, some of the comments have just been marvelous, absolutely marvelous. One person recently said to me, my discussion of the Roger Norrington box of, Drek, his useless Drek box or whatever I called it. He said that my discussion of Norrington was obviously the result of personal animosity, which it couldn't possibly have been because I've never met the man. And that as a result of that, he went out and bought it and he's loving every minute of it. And I just, as if this is going to somehow, I'll show him, I'll tell him. And, it's a riot to me because if you want to spend several $100s, or if it's out of print, $1,000, God knows what, purchasing a box of worthless Drek and spending countless hours listening to it and tell yourself it's wonderful merely because I said it wasn't. Hey, again, knock yourself out. The funny thing is, I really, truly believe that probably, I don't know what the percentage is, but a lot of the people who say things like that are just lying. Because I believe nobody who starts sanctimoniously wagging their finger behind an anonymous screen name, and they won't even say who they really are, or what the deal is with them. I mean, if they can't have the confidence or self-esteem or whatever to at least say, I disagree with you, and this is how I am, and who I am, and this is why I disagree with you, and their name's something like, Hemorrhoid 7, then, if Hemorrhoid 7 wants to buy all the Roger Norrington boxes he wants, go right ahead. I mean, it's really not a problem. Or also, some of these, the Mahler 5 I just reviewed on period instruments with the Mahler Academy Orchestra. Most of you listen to bits of it because, nowadays it's not a question even of saving money. I mean, my job is actually a lot easier because most people, can stream things and listen to samples. It used to be you actually had to buy the thing. And that was a real issue, I felt. I feel a real responsibility when people go out and buy recordings that I recommend or don't recommend, and the money is gone. Now you can stream it and listen to bits of it or see it on YouTube, and it costs you nothing. So you can actually, sample and get a lot more than you used to. And that, of course, in a way it's great because I feel good for all you people who can do that. In a way it's depressing because it sort of devalues what I do. And so, I'm of two minds about that. But on the whole, I think it's a good thing because it generates buzz and creates discussion, and it gets people to go out and listen. And that's always a good thing. I mean, it's a perverse quirk of the human character that, bad reviews, scurrilous things, generate more interest than good reviews, generally speaking. Right? The bad guys are always more interesting. Nobody goes to see, Shakespeare's Othello because of Desdemona. You want to see Iago. I mean, it's the villains who get they usually get all the fun. They have all the good sex. They have the good women, and they have the most interesting ways of getting killed or triumphing, if that's what happens. We always like to see that good bad thing, and the bad is so much more intriguing because it's more sordid and dirty and exciting, and and I get that, and I operate accordingly. I have to tell you, I really do. I mean, I don't pull my punches when I don't like something, because I think that there's no point. First of all, life is too short, and second of all, I know that those reviews are going to get more attention, and they get more attention for the artists too, and the artists know it. The artists know it. I mean, I don't think that I've ever cost an artist something by giving them a terrible review. I really believe that. I think that there is no such thing as bad publicity, as some of you point out as well. And if these recordings get people to go and listen to them, especially now that you can hear them on streaming services, with no specific investment in that recording, because if you're paying like a fixed fee and you can listen to as many things as you want, or you can go to YouTube and they generate ad revenue, or however they do it, it's not hurting them. I think personally, the worst thing that I can do is to say nothing, is to just pretend something doesn't exist and not talk about it at all. Because in today's marketplace, you need to get mentioned. I mean, the labels aren't doing any promotion. Nobody can afford regular advertising. And, even the major artists, the recordings are just tossed out there. And with very, very little promotion. I mean, yeah, once in a while there is. But very, very little promotion. Someone else said that, they were impelled to listen to one of my, Vikingur Olafsson, him, the hands guy, or the green fungus. Yeah, because they thought that my review was harsh. Oh, poor boy. It was harsh. So they went out and they bought the record, and they now they, supposedly loved it. Good. I'm happy because I got somebody to listen to something. That's my reward. It's the fact that whether I like it or don't like it, if I describe it vividly, good or bad, people will listen. And the more people listen, the better it is for classical music, the better it is for our musical culture more generally, and the more I feel that I, have a purpose in life in doing this. So I just wanted to mention that because, I just find the people so funny when they think that they're like making a point by saying, "Well, you don't like it, so I do, and so there, stick it to you." You're not sticking it to me. You're doing exactly what I hope you'll do. And I'm delighted. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.